Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today we're diving into the fascinating world of semiconductors. You know, those tiny things that power practically all of our modern technology. We're talking smartphones, computers, cars, even smart refrigerators. Yeah, semiconductors are like the brains of everything electronic, and making them is an incredibly complex process that involves a whole bunch of different countries. Many people think it all boils down to the United States and China, but let me tell you, the map of semiconductors is much bigger than it seems. So get ready for a trip around the world where we'll explore who the real leaders are in semiconductor production, from the manufacturing giants to the suppliers of materials and equipment that make it all possible. Let's go.
Our first stop takes us to the beautiful island of Taiwan, home to TSMC, the undisputed king of chip manufacturing. If your phone has a state-of-the-art processor, it was most likely made by TSMC. What makes TSMC so special is its absolute dominance in process technology. We're talking about producing chips with transistors as small as 5 nanometers, and they're even working on 3 nanometer and 2 nanometer processes. To give you an idea, a human hair is about 75,000 nanometers thick. But it's not all rosy for TSMC. The growing geopolitical tension between China and Taiwan poses a major challenge. If something were to happen that interrupted TSMC's production, the consequences for the global technology industry would be catastrophic. Imagine a world without new iPhones, video game consoles, or even graphics cards. It would be total chaos, right? That's why stability in the region is crucial to the future of technology as we know it. In short, TSMC is a giant that operates silently, but its impact on our lives is enormous. Without them, the technological world would be a very different place.
Now we fly to South Korea, home to another tech giant, Samsung. You probably know Samsung for their phones and TVs, but what many don't know is that they're also a powerhouse in semiconductor manufacturing, especially when it comes to memory. I'm talking about DRAM and NAND flash, the two most common types of memory in practically every electronic device. If you've bought a new computer or upgraded your laptop's RAM recently, you've most likely held a Samsung memory chip in your hands. The interesting thing about Samsung is that they don't just make chips for themselves. They're also a major supplier to other companies. Even Apple, their biggest rival in the smartphone market, relies on Samsung's memory chips. And don't think for a second that Samsung is lagging behind in terms of process technology. They're also competing in the nanometer race, manufacturing chips with 5 nanometer processes and working on 3 nanometers. In short, Samsung is a key player in the world of semiconductors, with undisputed dominance in the memory market and a strong presence in other segments.
Let's cross the Pacific and land in the United States, home to some of the most important technology companies in the world. And when it comes to semiconductors, the United States shines brightly in chip design. I'm talking about companies like Intel, the historic giant that's been making CPUs for decades, NVIDIA, the undisputed kings of graphics cards and artificial intelligence, and AMD, which has been putting up a fight in recent years with its Ryzen processors and Radeon GPUs. These companies are the brilliant minds that design the architecture of the chips, the instructions that tell the transistors what to do. However, manufacturing is another story. While the United States still has some domestic manufacturing capacity, most of the production has moved to Asia in recent decades. But this is starting to change. With the recent passage of the CHIPS Act, the US government is injecting billions of dollars into the domestic semiconductor industry, with the aim of boosting local manufacturing and reducing dependence on Asia.
Our next destination takes us to the Netherlands, a country known for its tulips and windmills, and for a company that's at the heart of advanced chip manufacturing, ASML. ASML may not be as well known as Samsung or Intel, but let me tell you, they own a technology that's absolutely essential for making the most advanced chips in the world. I'm talking about extreme ultraviolet lithography, or EUV for short. This technology uses ultraviolet light with an incredibly short wavelength to draw the patterns of the transistors on the chips. And why is EUV so important? Well, because it allows you to create even smaller and more compact transistors, which translates into faster, more powerful, and more efficient chips. The most impressive thing is that ASML is the only company in the world that manufactures EUV lithography machines. They're like the jewelers of the semiconductor industry, and all the major chip makers depend on them. Without ASML, the race for nanometers would come to a screeching halt. It's that simple.
And we can't talk about semiconductors without mentioning China, the world's second-largest economy and a growing player on the technology stage. China is the world's largest consumer of semiconductors, but it also has big ambitions to become a leader in chip production. While it's true that China is still lagging behind in terms of process technology, most of its factories produce chips at nodes of 14 nanometers or larger. The Chinese government is investing billions of dollars in research and development to close the gap. China's goal is clear: to achieve self-sufficiency in semiconductor production, reducing its dependence on foreign companies. And make no mistake, they're making great progress. Companies like SMIC, China's largest contract chip maker, are advancing rapidly, and it wouldn't be surprising if in the not-too-distant future, China becomes an even more formidable competitor in the semiconductor market.
Our next stop takes us to the land of the rising sun, Japan. Although Japan is not the technological giant it once was, it is still a key player in the semiconductor industry, especially when it comes to high-precision materials and equipment. I'm talking about companies like Tokyo Electron, one of the world's largest suppliers of chip manufacturing equipment, and Shin-Etsu Chemical, a world leader in the production of silicon wafers, the base material on which chips are manufactured. What makes Japan so special is its obsession with quality and precision. Japanese equipment and materials manufacturers are known for their ability to produce extremely high-quality products with incredibly small tolerances. In addition to silicon, Japan is also at the forefront of research and development of new materials for semiconductors, such as gallium nitride, GaN, and silicon carbide, SiC, which are used in high-power and high-frequency applications. In short, Japan remains a critical link in the global semiconductor supply chain, providing high-quality materials and equipment that are essential for the manufacture of next-generation chips.
We now travel to Southeast Asia, where the island nation of Singapore has become a nerve center for the semiconductor industry. Singapore is a small but mighty country, with a strategic location, first-class infrastructure, and a highly skilled workforce. These advantages have attracted many multinational companies in the sector, making Singapore a major center for chip manufacturing, assembly, and testing. Companies like Micron Technology, one of the world's largest memory manufacturers, and Broadcom, a leading manufacturer of communications chips, have major manufacturing operations in Singapore. But Singapore is not just a production center. The government has invested heavily in research and development, creating a vibrant ecosystem that fosters innovation in the field of semiconductors. From the manufacture of memory chips to the development of new packaging technologies, Singapore is playing an increasingly important role in shaping the future of the semiconductor industry. Our last stop takes us to Israel, a small country with a huge impact on the global technology industry. Known as the startup nation, Israel is a hotbed of innovation, and the semiconductor sector is no exception. Companies like Tower Semiconductor, a manufacturer specializing in analog and mixed-signal chips, and Mellanox Technologies, a leader in high-performance interconnect solutions, now part of NVIDIA, are examples of Israel's innovative spirit. But Israel's true strength lies in its ability to drive innovation in emerging areas. The R&D centers of multinational companies such as Intel, Qualcomm, and Samsung are at the forefront of research in areas such as quantum computing, photonic chips, and artificial intelligence. Israel also has a vibrant startup community that is developing disruptive technologies in the field of semiconductors. From new materials to revolutionary chip architectures, Israel is at the forefront of innovation in this sector. In short, Israel is a small but powerful player in the world of semiconductors, with a unique ability to drive innovation and shape the future of technology. As we've seen, semiconductor manufacturing is a global effort, a technological symphony involving countries from all over the world, each with its own strengths and specialties. From chip design to manufacturing and materials supply, the semiconductor supply chain is a testament to global interdependence. Taiwan and South Korea are leading the charge in advanced chip manufacturing, while the United States remains a powerhouse in chip design. The Netherlands provides the essential lithography technology, while Japan contributes its expertise in precision materials and equipment. China is rapidly emerging as a major player, while Singapore and Israel are driving innovation in key areas. The next time you use your phone, turn on your computer, or drive your car, remember that there's a whole world of technology and innovation behind those tiny chips